improving your routine. And, he's just doing a tremendous job. So they got, they got their offense rolling. They got, obviously a lot of talented players. And on defense, they have some talented players too that make a lot of plays. So it's a really well-balanced team. And, we know we're going to have to play really well to beat them. So it's going to be a big challenge for us. And, even, watching the last time he was out there playing, you give him a chance to win at the end. He takes advantage of it and leads the team down there. And, he does a tremendous job.
All right, we'll go over to Greg Allman.
Hey, Tom, I know you've seen this from both sides with a lot of years in New England with first place schedules, but I wanted to ask you about what it's like to go up against a defending Super Bowl champ. I know you're motivated every week, but just how much extra it is to think you have a chance to beat the team that won the Super Bowl the year before.
Well, it just means they're a good team, and I think good teams give you less margin of error. So, they've had some continuity on that side with that system, with those coaches. A lot of their key veteran players. That's always important. I feel key, continuity is the biggest, probably most critical aspect to, consistent performance. Because you got to build on year after year, not just game after game or week after week. So, they've been in that system for a while. Coach Reed's been there for a while. He's a great coach. They do a great job. And, they've got a lot of good things going. They've been tough to beat for a lot of years now, including when Alex Smith was there. They were pretty good too. So I played them all those years as well. And, they're doing a good job. And, they have some dynamic players, and obviously Patrick at quarterback, being a tremendous player that he is, they always have an opportunity to win.
Okay, we'll go to Jenna Lane.
Hey, Tom. First off, happy Thanksgiving. Hope you were able to enjoy it for a few hours yesterday.
Thank you. You guys too.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, kind of back to what Rick was talking about with Andy Reid and what he said about you stopping by the locker room to talk to Patrick Mahomes after that AFC Championship game. He talked about just how much it meant to him that you took the time to do that. And so I'm just wondering, in your career, I don't know if you've ever had a tough loss where it meant a lot that a veteran player did that for you, or just what compelled you to ultimately decide to do that?
Well, we had, there's different stories with different guys and so forth. And I've had probably a relationship with different guys over the course of the league based on friends knowing one another and, just guys being from certain parts of the country, or guys that I've had experience playing against, or guys that I've met at different times in the off season. Guys that I've been in contact when they were drafted, or I was asked to speak to at one point. So there's a lot of young players that are a lot younger than me at this point, basically everybody. So, when I get a chance to meet them, and I'm always watching football too. I mean, that's what I love to do. I love watching young players, see how they're playing the position and see if I could learn anything from them. And, he had an incredible year that year. And we playing for the Patriots, played them and had a great game against them and won the game. And it's a tough loss at the end of the year. So I've been a part of those too. So, wasn't much more than that.
All right, we're going to go over to Sarah Walsh.
Hey, Tom, what or who specifically on this Chiefs defense jumps out to you?
Well, I think everything, I think they've got a good, they have a really good scheme. They challenge you in a lot of different ways. They have a lot of veteran core players that know how to play in that scheme and play well. Sorensen's really good. Matthew, Tyron's a hell of a player. Breeland's a hell of a player. They just got a lot of good guys in the secondary. Some really good athletic linebackers. Hitchens, Wilson play in there a lot. Neiman's in there a lot. They got Frank Clark, who's a hell of a player. Chris Jones is a great player. They got so a very stout D-line with some really explosive players. A lot of veteran core guys at linebacker. Some very good players in the secondary that are dynamic. And they play well within the idea of the complementary offense that they're playing with. So they're playing with leads, and they're playing with leads. They play well from ahead. They've come back on offense playing from behind. So, they haven't lost many games over the last couple of years. And, you know, they win them in different ways. Sometimes they win them defense at the end. Sometimes they win them on offense at the end. And that's what good teams do. And they're certainly one of the best ones in the league.
I'll go over to Scott Reynolds.
Hey, Tom, you've had a lot of success on final drives. There's been a couple games where it hasn't worked out for you guys. The Bears game and the Rams game come to mind. Is that a product, and you mentioned continuity earlier, is that a product of not having the off season and those 400 to 500 reps and a truncated training camp and no preseason, where you're being forced to kind of learn on a week-to-week basis and not having all of that extra work that you normally would have? Does it kind of catch up to you in those situations sometimes?
I mean, I think that our job is to get the job done. So there's no excuses for when we don't get it done. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the reality of the sport. It's a production-based business, and you have opportunities like we had in those two games. It's very disappointing when you don't, especially when you're the quarterback and the ball's in your hands. So it's something I got to do a better job of.
We have time for a few more. We're going to go over to Joey Knight.
You guys' struggles with the deep throws have been pretty well documented. Just from the other night, reviewing the film, what did you see? What happened on the deep throws? What was the problem?
Just, not executing at the highest level. So I don't think it's more than that. I think we didn't execute on some short throws. We didn't execute on some medium throws. Just comes down to not as good execution as I think we're capable. So we're working harder to improve it, and we'll go out there and try to do a much better job this week.
Okay, we're going to go to Steve Isbitz.
Tom, you mentioned building year over year versus just week to week. Do you have a routine now where you keep track of things you want to build on in the off season, things you can't address effectively in the season?
Well, the season is what it is. You're kind of in the race. So you might have moments where you can really sit back and reflect and self-scout and so forth. And the tough part about the NFL is you're just kind of on to the next week, and you're trying to get ready for a new scheme, new opponent. So, you gotta, yes, you have to fix the things that didn't go well, because you're always trying to improve the things you're not good at. But then you're also dealing with a new set of challenges, new information you're trying to retain, implement new scheme and new design. So, it's tough. It's a tough league. It's a very competitive league. Games are decided by a play here or there every week. And, we're going to try to make those plays to help us win the game. And we've been at a few games where we've been right there and had the opportunity to win them. And sometimes we have, and a couple times we haven't. So we got to certainly improve on those. And then, find ways to keep getting better, keep improving, and not. I think one thing I learned about the NFL, it's a week-to-week league, and you can't let one loss carry over to the next week and, lose confidence that, you're not capable of getting the job done, because, we've gotten the job done. We just need to do it on a more consistent basis.
Okay, we're going to close out with a question from Greg Allman.
Hey, Tom, my wife had a question that wanted to ask you. I know you're so careful and conscientious about everything you put in your body. Wanted to know what you had for Thanksgiving.
I had probably a lot like everybody else. So that was a good, it's a great holiday for us all. So yeah, I do eat pretty good for most of the time. And there's other days where, man, I got after it. So we had a good day yesterday. It was pretty nice. Just like everybody. Thanksgiving's a great holiday for all of us.
No specific side dish you want to give a shout out to or anything?
I liked it all, man. Turkey stuffing, mashed potatoes and some Brussels sprouts and some pie. So it was a great day with our family. And, it was a short day of work yesterday, and then got a little extra time. I had a little extra time today working. So all good. All balances itself out. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Have a great day.